Hi, this is Nicole Santa Maria with Miami Handwriting, occupational therapy for real life. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about flexible seating. I'm hearing more and more about this at the schools. I hear about it from my parents, from colleagues. So we're going to jump in and talk about what is flexible seating. So, flexible seating, in my professional opinion, should be seating other than your traditional desk and chair that, here's the kicker, is conducive to learning. So as we all know, adults, children, we all have different learning styles. Some of us learn better while we're moving. Some of us learn better listening to music. Some of us learn better if it's really, really quiet. So those are just all the different preferences we have. So flexible seating is when we want to bring some of that into our learning or working environment. So what does flexible seating look like? For adults, because a lot of us prefer flexible seating. Like right now, I'm sitting in a chair that has bungee cords. So it gives me just a little bit of movement and it helps my postural muscles keep me up straight. That's what I prefer to sit on. Some of us might rock and roll in our chairs. This one happens to have swivel and it has wheels. Some of us prefer to stand. That would be me also. I used to be in a co-working space and one of the guys there had this awesome standing desk, and when I asked him about it, because of course as the OT I couldn't just see him doing that and not ask him, he said that he heard smoking, sitting is the new smoking, and that he was too young and he sat all day long, so he incorporated this into his office space, and it just changed the way he works. He was more productive, he lost weight, he was happier. I prefer to stand, and I just love getting that feedback from, I think he was like an importing and exporting. He, probably didn't know about the sensory system, or he just knew it felt good to him. So that feedback was so valuable to me. It was such a testimony of these options really, really can help our classrooms be better. So what does it look like in the classroom? So if you have general ed classroom, you don't have any fancy equipment, sometimes the kids will just come sit on the floor. Sometimes they'll sit on the floor with a clipboard. Sometimes they'll lie down on their tummy and do their work. That's them giving themselves what they need, flexible seating. Sometimes the kids will just stand up. That's the kids knowing what they need, giving themselves flexible seating. So now if we want to take some of the principles of flexible seating, which is just, remember, giving them other options besides a desk and a chair to learn and to work. I have about three, my three rules that I always stick to. So the first one is, and this is not rocket science, it's best when we keep it flexible. What does that mean? Everybody does not like flexible seating. A lot of people work really well with a traditional desk and chair. So keeping that flexible seating, children should have an option as to what and how they want to use during the classroom. Now that brings us to number 2, which is options. We want to give them options because, like I said, not everybody wants the bouncy ball chair. A lot of them want to sit in a regular desk and chair. So we do want to introduce options, but we don't want to have too many. We want to try and keep them to the same color. If you're going to have rocker chairs, have them all be blue. If we're going to have wiggle cushions, try and have them all be red. Whatever the color is that you're going to get them, we just want to avoid any conflicts like, oh, I want the red one, I want the blue one, especially in a kindergarten class, and I've seen it. And we only want to have a couple of them to begin with. You don't want to have a bouncy ball, a rocker chair, a tea stool, because then it may be too many options for the children. So initially, when you're first introducing, you just want to introduce a couple of options and then just kind of look and learn and see what works best. The kids are going to tell you what they like. The last one, and maybe the most important one, is this is something that they may or may not have had any experience with. So introducing a couple of rules is beneficial. However, we want to introduce the rules without any judgment. Whenever I drop off any little treats in the classroom that for the teachers to introduce flexible seating, I always tell them this is not a reward, this is not a punishment. So we want to keep it away. If you're good, you get the wiggle cushion. If you're talking, I'm going to take away the wiggle cushion. Because in theory, we're giving them that flexible seating as an option, a lot of the kids to regulate themselves and to help pay attention. So keep it flexible, give them options, but not too many, and definitely introduce rules for the equipment, but keep it judgment-free. Again, I'm Nicole Santa Maria. As always, I look forward to hearing feedback from you. MiamiHandwriting.com. You can find me on Facebook, Miami Handwriting, and Instagram. And you can also find me on YouTube, Miami Handwriting. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you have flexible seating, if it works, if it doesn't work, you have any questions. I'd love to hear back. All right. Ciao.